Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another day here in Bronie's world. And at Bronie's desk, we have our favorite pharmacist in the world and my dear friend, Pharmacist Ben, with us again today. We've had 2 weeks without you, Ben, because you've been away. But anyway, and we missed you, just so you know. However, we had two beautiful doctors, Dr. Lisa Singletary and Dr. Laura Dennison, fill in those last 2 weeks. But anyway, welcome back, young man. And I can say young because you're slightly younger than me. Anyway, so today had an interesting conversation with Grant there, and it prompted me to the fact that I have this question come to me often as well about supplementations, but his question was mostly on calcification of the heart. Can our hearts calcify with too much calcium, and can we over supplement even with our protocol of what we have with longevity and our amazing all-rounded supplements that are complete? So I thought this would be a good topic for us to cover, because it is something that a lot of people do think that they are having too much, and it's something that the media puts out there that and certainly other pharmacists that I know, pharmaceuticalists, don't like anyone supplementing at all. So the best person to ask, I thought, would be you. So with no further ado, Ben, I'm handing it over to you.
Okay, so calcification is certainly a problem. It's how we die. Basically, one of the ways we die, we calcify. Our tissues calcify. Our heart calcifies, kidney calcifies, brain calcifies. But it doesn't come from supplements. The source of most calcium that causes calcification is not supplements. It's a very naive and simplistic way of looking at biochemistry. And unfortunately, a lot of people who talk biochemistry are naive and simplistic. The calcium that causes problems with calcification is typically released from the bone, from the skeletal system, as a way of dealing with acidity. Calcium is an alkalinizing agent, and when the blood becomes acidic, the body will release calcium from the bones to neutralize the acid in the blood. Acid in the blood is a big problem. The body has mechanisms for neutralization of that acid. One of them is calcium release from the bone. Ultimately, once calcium gets released from the bone, it can get deposited in tissues. Supplemental calcium is not really the source of calcification. So if you're calcifying, what you want to be looking at is, why is your blood acidic? Acid being a sign of toxicity and duress. That's really the problem. It's not supplements, and it's kind of literally, no pun intended, boneheaded to think that it's nutritional supplements that's causing the calcification, when the real source is duress and stress. Remember, there's only a few things that go wrong in the body, one of which is cellular duress from starvation, suffocation, intoxication. Once cells are under duress, either they secrete acid as a waste product. Acid is a waste product from cellular chemistry, or if cells die, they explode and they release acids. So in any case, calcification is the end result of the body's attempt to neutralize acid in the blood, which is caused by cellular duress and cell death. That's the real problem. Cellular duress, cells overworking or working too hard without the appropriate nutrients and oxygen, as well as cell death, which leads to acidity, which leads to calcium release from the bones, which leads to calcification. It all boils down to the same thing. Keep your cells healthy. How? Nutritional supplements, oxygenation, eliminating toxicity, all the stuff that we're supposed to do. It is not calcium supplements that cause calcification. You got to eat a lot of calcium supplements for anything like that to happen. For the most part, calcium will be absorbed or excreted. It's not going to cause calcification. Now, calcium is also used by the body as a sort of cement or grout to patch up leaky blood vessels, or weak blood vessels, we'll say. And that's what accounts for calcium plaques. A lot of the clogs in blood vessels are the end result of kind of kind of a mixture of cholesterol and fats and calcium, which forms a kind of grout to patch up weakened blood vessels. And that could be another reason why there's calcification, but it's not calcium supplements for the most part that cause calcification. Okay. And there's also, by the way, there's also strategies you could use to keep calcium in the blood. Vitamin K is a calcium magnet that keeps calcium in the bones. Magnesium also helps attract calcium to the bones. So make sure you're getting enough magnesium. And most of us get way more calcium than magnesium because calcium is found in dairy foods, which everybody loves, butter and milk and ice cream and cheese, etc. And magnesium is found in green leafy vegetables, which people don't like as much. So we tend to get more calcium than we do magnesium. And you do want to have a balance of calcium, magnesium, especially, and also vitamin K to keep calcium, kind of attract calcium to the bones. Vitamin K being a type of calcium magnet.
So on that ratio you're saying with the calcium and magnesium, we know here, as through your teaching and Doc Wallach's teaching, that we should have equal amounts. So can you explain the importance of that? I know that
the importance of a balance
of the balance between because I know a lot of people who will they will just load themselves up with magnesium and totally forget about the calcium.
Well, calcium's found in foods that people eat. So you don't necessarily need, or a lot of people don't necessarily need to supplement with calcium because it's found in a lot of foods that people eat. That being said, it's not going to hurt you to make sure that you get enough calcium in an absorbable form, something like colloidal calcium or calcium chelate, as opposed to something like calcium carbonate, which is notorious for its poor absorption. Also, vitamin D is very important for calcium absorption. So making sure that you're getting enough vitamin D from being out in the sun or eating vitamin D containing foods is also helpful for calcium. It's not just the calcium you take, it's the calcium that you absorb. Calcium is a super serious element. And while most people think of it as being important for hardening bone and for the skeletal system, which is true, calcium is really its most important role, or I don't say most important because it's important in the skeletal system, but one of the important roles for calcium is as an activator for cells. Calcium turns on cell behavior. As such, it's very tightly regulated, and there are glands, and there are the parathyroid gland specifically, and there's vitamins or hormones, vitamin D, which is a vitamin/hormone, that are used by the body to regulate the amount of calcium that gets into the blood. Calcium regulation is very, very important. Magnesium doesn't have those kinds of fail-safe mechanisms that calcium has. So it's not just taking calcium, it's making sure that you have enough vitamin D, and also making sure that you're having healthy intestines, because calcium being absorbed through the intestine. If you have leaky gut, or if you have intestinal inflammation, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel disease, that kind of thing, you may also have problems absorbing calcium through the intestine. So it's not just taking the calcium that counts, it's also the absorption of calcium.
Well, that's the importance of all supplements. And so because the part of the question was, can you have too many supplements? Now, there's supplements, and then there's really good supplements. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly in supplements, isn't there? Out there,
I'm not sure what you mean by supplements.
As in,
you're talking about nutrients, or you're talking about formulas?
Yeah.
A nutrient is like a vitamin or a mineral or an amino acid or a fatty acid. A formula is a blend.
Supplements that we take.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Supplements is a vague word.
Mm-hmm.
Supplements can be individual nutrients, vitamin C, for example, magnesium, calcium, or it could be a formulation like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which has multiple nutrients in it. So when you say supplements, what are you referring to? Individual nutrients or formulas?
No, let me take a step back. Out there in the world, we have many different supplement supplying companies. We know how ours work. We know how Youngevity's work. They're complete, they're natural, they don't have any fillers and all that. But then there are other companies out there that don't have, like their vitamin C, for example, may only have about 10% vitamin C in it, as opposed to a lot of fillers and things. And I just wanted you to explain the difference between good supplementation, good supplements.
I can't. I don't really. That's not really a thing. Supplements are formulas. There's good. There's formulas. There's bad formulas. It's not like their companies are putting out bad products. Is that what you mean? Or they're bad products?
Well, they're well, because a lot of pharmacists and doctors will tell you supplementing is bad.
Well, any doctor or pharmacist, they could tell you the moon is made of green cheese. That doesn't mean that they're right. So anybody who tells you supplements are bad is talking baby talk. What do you mean bad? Supplements are bad. That's like saying your glasses are bad. I mean, what do you mean bad?
Yeah, well, you don't need them. You stop. You don't need.
Okay, now that's different.
And you're taking too many, and
that's different. That's different. Yeah. That's not baby talk. So nobody says supplements are bad. That's like talking
I've had them say it to me. No.
Well, then they're talking like a kindergartner. Supplements are bad. Well, what does that even mean? Now, what you just said, some of them aren't absorbable, some of them are not used by the body. Those are reasons. That's different. But to say supplements are bad, that's like saying, cake is bad. Pancakes are bad. What does that mean? We got to start talking like adults here. Not just you, but everybody. This idea of bad and good, bad foods, good foods. We're not idiots. We're not children.
No.
Bad and good. What is this? You're 5 years old? Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's good. Come on. So supplements are bad. First of all, if anybody ever really says supplements are bad, that's like, I don't even know how to address that. That's like talking to a kindergarten person. Supplements are bad. Bad and good are words that children use. Healthcare professionals don't say bad and good. Scientists don't say bad and good. Children say bad and good. Or if you're talking to a child, you say bad and good. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's good. So nobody says supplements are bad. But what you just said, some of them aren't absorbable. You don't need them. That's different. So what exactly are you trying to get at here? Without saying bad and good.
Okay. Can we over supplement?
That's a good question. Now that's a legitimate question. Can we over supplement? No, not really. Your body will excrete what it doesn't use. The body's not stupid. It's not just going to suck in everything it takes. There's many mechanisms in place that, in fact, very complex mechanisms that take nutrients from the intestine and put them into the blood. I mean, do you ever wonder, how does a nutrient get from your digestive tract into the blood? It's a very complicated process. And so the body has these mechanisms in place to assure that you can't take too much. That being said, if you go out of your way and swallow 100 vitamin A capsules, something ridiculous like that, you can take too much. But other than being ridiculous, taking your BTT and swallowing the whole thing, no, it's almost impossible to supplement too much. On the other hand, the opposite is also true. You could be very deficient in key nutrients based on how we eat, or based on toxicity, or based on malabsorption. So to me, it's better safe than sorry. You can't really take too much, with some exceptions, like vitamin A is, if you really went out of your way, you could probably take too much. You wouldn't die, but you might get some jaundice. You might put some stress on your liver. It's very difficult to take too much. Given that deficiencies are much more of a problem than overdosing, it seems much more intelligent to take a little extra in terms of supplementing, because the real problem is not getting enough, not getting too much. And I want that you really heard any pharmacist or doctor, if you're just being specific, I want them to come on the call and talk to me, because I hate having to talk behind their back and say how ridiculous it is for somebody to say something like that.
I would absolutely love the ones that have said it to me to come on, but I can tell you now they wouldn't.
The program.
They are so blind. No. They are so blind to it.
No. But here's the problem, Bronie,
Mm.
because we are so insecure,
Yeah.
we tend to defer to authorities. So when we're sick, Bronie, and many of the people in this call who are listening to this call, when you have, say, you wake up in the morning and you're dizzy, just to give you an example, or your knee hurts, the first thing you're going to do is go to a doctor. If you're like most people, never mind that they never help you. Never mind that there's no real medical protocol for dealing with chronic degenerative disease. That's where we head, because we are trained to defer to authority, and we're trained to think that we're not smart enough or we're not good enough. Our whole message is that you are smart enough, and you don't have to defer to somebody who's outside your body to tell you what's happening in your body. And that's really the message here. We got to own our power. The fact that our health situation in this country and your country is so abysmal is a testimony to the utter and complete failure of the medical model when it comes to addressing health challenges. Now, when it comes to repairing a broken leg, or an aneurysm, or some kind of trauma that happens to your body, that's where the medical model excels. They're great at that. But when it comes to changing your blood sugar, what makes us think that a doctor can fix your blood sugar? What makes us think that a doctor can lower your cortisol levels? What makes us think that the medical model is equipped to deal with our biochemical health challenges that are based in lifestyle and based on how we eat, or how we don't eat, or how we supplement or not supplement, or the amount of stress we have in our lives? Why would we do that? We can't blame them. We're going there. We're going to the doctor. So, when you say the doctor says, oh, their supplements are silly, why do we listen? The reason we listen is because we don't trust ourselves. We don't believe that we're intelligent enough to be able to contradict the doctor. So when the doctor says supplements are stupid, we either listen to him or we question him. Why should we think that we are less capable of determining what's valuable and important for our bodies than an outside healthcare professional or authority? We're not. We are totally. This is not complicated. I mean, how many times have I been on this talking to you now once every couple of weeks for a year or over a year now? I say the same things over and over again. How many times do you hear me talk about the digestive system, the blood sugar system, the triangle of disease? And it's not complicated. We are overthinking this.
Yeah, the overthinkitis.
We're overthinkitis because we're in this fog. And this fog is kind of perpetuated on us by the healthcare industry, and in your country by the government, even in this country by the government. But the fact is we got more diabetes, more obesity, more Alzheimer's disease, more chronic degenerative disease, more medications, more hospitals. We're the sickest culture in the history of the planet, in the history of mankind. We are the sickest, fattest, most cancer-ridden culture, and this is all under the watch of the medical model. Obviously, they can't handle it. What else do we need to see? Doesn't matter. We can do it ourselves. Get hit by a car, go to a hospital and get fixed. But if you got diabetes, it's not the doctor's business. And if you go to a doctor, you're going to get a drug. That's what he does.
Yeah. But
it's not their fault. It's not their fault. When a doctor says, oh, supplements are stupid, you don't need supplements, he's just repeating what he heard. It's our fault for going there and asking him.
Yeah. Well,
if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So if all you have is surgical tools, everything looks like a surgical procedure. If all you have is drugs, everything looks like a pharmacological intervention.
Absolutely.
So I'm very careful to blame or to attack the medical representatives, because I know them personally, and they're beautiful people. Doctors are really good people. There are some arrogant, chauvinistic ones who think that we're all dumb, but for the most part, they're really good people. And they're
some of these people that have said this to me are friends of mine, which is why I know they would not come on here. Because
are they friends of yours who are physicians, or are they friends of yours just lay people?
No, friends who are physicians and pharmacists, but they
tell them to come on if they want
to. They don't believe in supplementation at all.
That's fine. They can believe whatever they want to believe.
I just love them where they're at, and
Sun shines on everybody. Jesus loves us all.
Absolutely.
Even dummy pharmacists. No,
All
I'm kidding.
right.
I'm kidding. That's how they're trained. It's not
Yeah.
their fault. That's how they're trained. The real problem is when they're not open-minded, and a lot of them are not open-minded. That's really the problem. And if they just look, I'm a pharmacist. It's embarrassing to be a pharmacist in a way, because, and that's why I had to stop. That's why I had to do nutrition, because I was the guy poisoning America. So, if you're a doctor, you're a pharmacist, be a little humble, because you're not really helping people. A lot of the times you're not helping people. So be a little humble and be a little open-minded. And I don't want to blame doctors or pharmacists for being who they are. That's what they do. It's our fault for going there. It's our fault for going there.
True.
You have a health challenge that's chronic and long and has to do with your lifestyle. It's not a doctor concern. And there are a lot of things. I mean, look at all the people we help with Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the strategies that we're using today. I don't know if Lori's on the call here. And I'm not that smart, you guys. I know a lot of stuff, but I'm not that smart. I haven't settled anything that's really complicated or hard to understand, have I?
Well, she was on the call. I don't know where she's disappeared.
All right. She just wants to say hi. All right. So what do we have? What questions?
Oh, no, she was on here, so she may have, or I just can't see her. Anyway,
do we have any questions?
We do have questions, and I'm going to invite Pippa to unmute and join us, because I know she does have questions, and I know Grant does too, but I want to go to Pippa's first time here, and she's still learning to unmute. So you press the little button. See how I asked you to okay, there you go. Okay, Pippa, fire away. This is a Pharmacist Ben. And Ben.
Hi, Ben. I'm in Tasmania.
Yes.
And I was diagnosed with rapid atrial defibrillation.
Okay.
About 2 months ago. 75.
And so you went,
up until that time, I'd never had anything wrong with me. I wasn't even on any medication of any sort. Now I'm on everything you can think of out of the chemist shop.
Again, listen.
And
you went to the doctor.
Know how to get off that.
Absolutely, 100%. So listen, Pippa, you went to the doctor and you got doctored. Simple as that. What does it mean to doctor? If I go to the judge and I say, "Hi, judge, I'm in court. Hi, judge, here's the evidence. It's doctored." Is that a good thing? Or I go to the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. Like, here's my taxes. They're doctored. Is that a good thing? What does doctoring mean? When you doctor something, you commit a fraud. If you doctor the evidence, you commit a fraud. If you doctor your taxes, you're committing a fraud. So doctoring is committing a fraud. What is the fraud? It's pretending you're healthy. You're not healthy. If you take a beta blocker or a calcium channel blocker or 5 different drugs, you're not healthier, Pippa. You may have stopped your heart from fibrillating. I'll tell you how that works in a second. But now you haven't solved the problem, because the fibrillation is caused by something. You haven't addressed that. And even worse, now you've burdened your body with 5 or 4, however many different poisons that your body now has to process. Your body has to clear them out. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the doctoring process pretends that you're healthy. Here's your medicine, Pippa. Go away. Now you're fine. Your heart's good. Your fibrillation stopped. But
I get that.
The blood, hang on, Pippa. The blood sugar problem that caused the fibrillation, the lack of oxygen that caused the fibrillation, the stress that caused the fibrillation, the blood vessel issues that caused the fibrillation, the toxicity in the blood that caused the fibrillation hasn't been addressed. All they've done is shut down the heart with a drug. Do you see what I'm saying? There are causes for fibrillation. Fibrillation is it's a really cool word because it really describes what's happening. You ever see Jell-O? When you shake the Jell-O, it kind of wobbles.
That's what we call jelly.
Jell-O, like a bowl of jelly, wobbles, right? That's what a fibrillation is.
Yes.
Your heart is a muscle, or contains muscle, that's supposed to beat powerfully. And it happens, the way the beat is generated is by electricity that runs like a wave through the heart and causes it to contract. And when it contracts, and it contracts powerfully, and it propels the blood through your body. But if it's all shaky, it's not going to propel the blood effectively. You're not going to get blood to the tissues. You may even get blood clots. You may even get a stroke, or God forbid, even worse, a heart attack. You could kill you. So to the doctor, we're just going to stop the fibrillation. The problem is he hasn't addressed the cause of the fibrillation. So the drugs they gave you are probably, number one, a drug that slows down the heart. They call that a beta blocker drug. Okay?
Yes.
Sometimes they'll give you a calcium channel blocker. These are drugs that slow down the heart. Now, you're not a doctor. You're not a healthcare professional. I take it. Bronie, you're not a healthcare professional. Do you think it's intelligent to poison your heart under any circumstance?
No.
Is that an intelligent health strategy? It defies logic, but this is what they do. So the strategy is we're going to poison your heart, literally, not figuratively. I'm not being poetic here. We're going to poison your heart so it doesn't move as fast, and that will reduce the fibrillation. That's what a beta blocker does, or a calcium channel blocker does. Now, they probably also gave you a blood thinner in order to keep your blood from stroking. Now, what do you think when you take a blood thinner? The blood thinner says, "Oh, let's make the blood thin. No, it doesn't. It poisons the mechanism of blood flow. So you're taking all these poisons in an attempt to make you better. This is what they do. So the question is how do we address the problem? Well, listen, Pippa, and I'm not trying to be mean or harsh, but I got to be frank with you. If you're in a condition of fibrillation, you are not healthy. There are things in your body that need to be fixed. Now, you appear to be in your 60s at least, right? So you've had 60 years of doing what everybody does, of eating the same food everybody eats, of having the same exercise protocols that everybody eats, of doing nutrition or lack of nutrition that everybody does. So you got to stop doing it. First and foremost, you got to get some nutrients into your body. Now, are you supplementing at all?
Not the moment.
Okay.
Just very new, Ben. She's very, very new.
Okay, no, listen, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm trying to be honest. What's that?
Sorry. EPA.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you.
I think she's saying EPA, the EFAs.
EPA, EDA. It's and also B5. I've just started B5.
So here's the thing, Pippa. God bless you, my dear. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Okay? You're just taking something somebody told you, and you're taking this and you're taking that. There's no strategy.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Okay. Well, you come to the right place. We're going to help you. Okay? First and foremost, we got to make sure your blood flows correctly. When the blood doesn't flow correctly, you don't get oxygen to your heart. When the heart is not getting oxygen, it gets shaky. That's fibrillation. So we got to get that blood moving. Number one, you want things that will naturally thin your blood. Naturally. They're giving you a blood thinner, a drug blood thinner. We want to give you some natural blood thinners. Number one of the best blood thinners in the world is water. H2O. It's one of the best blood. Are you drinking half a gallon of water a day, Pippa?
No, they're telling me not to have more than a liter and a minimum.
They're telling you not to drink water. This is the intelligence. Here, take the poison, but don't drink water. This is the world we live in. Okay?
Only a small amount.
Yeah, only a small amount, but we want you on the poison. This is the craziness of the world. All right? All right, fine. So that's what we got. You want to drink a lot of water. Wake up first thing in the morning and drink a liter of water. And then maybe in the middle of the day, another liter and another liter towards the end of the day. Not too close to bed because you'll be getting up and going to the bathroom a lot. Okay? All of that will dilute your blood, and it will help things move along more effectively. Now, I don't want to be rude or anything, but how old are you, Pippa?
I'm 75.
Oh, well, God bless you. God bless you. You look great. You look awesome. Second thing is your blood sugar is whacked. And I can just tell by looking, you got a blood sugar problem. Okay? Did they diagnose you as such? Did they diagnose you with that?
What what's blood sugar? That's
Blood sugar, like that's your insulin and diabetes and
I don't have
pre-diabetes.
diabetes. I've tested.
No, no, sweetheart. I know you don't have diabetes. Diabetes is a threshold. You have to click into the threshold of diabetes. If you're over 120, I'm not going to get into the details, but if you're over 120, they say you're diabetic. If you're 119, they say you're not diabetic. Because they don't look at you, Pippa. A good healthcare professional will look at you. They don't care what your test scores are. They look at you. So basically, I can only see your head from the neck up, but I can tell that you've got some blood sugar issues just by looking. You also appear to have some digestive issues. Do you know what rosacea is?
Sorry, what else have I got?
Rosacea.
It looks like you got some rosacea.
What's that?
Redness in your cheeks.
It's
Ah.
redness in your cheeks, Pippa.
Redness in your cheeks. That tells me there's some digestive issues. Look, Pippa, it's going to take me an hour to tell you everything to do, but I'm going to just give you the cliff notes. I don't know if you know what cliff notes are. We have cliff notes here. The summary. Get on the healthy brain and heart pack. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water to dilute your blood. Bronie, can you help Pippa? Because she's not going to remember.
She's one of Michelle's, so Michelle will definitely help her.
Okay, we're going to help you, Pippa. We're gonna change your life, my dear. Okay. Number one, you got to drink water, but while you're drinking the water, you want Beyond Tangy Tangerine with it. Okay. So make sure whoever's helping you, make sure she's getting Beyond Tangy Tangerine with her water, and have her drinking a lot of water. Get on the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, and throw in the sweeties. And also, it appears to me that there's some digestive issues going on. So I would be doing a food diary and looking for specific foods. Chances are pretty good Pippa has no idea about the foods and the relationship between foods and the blood and foods and the heart. Right, Pippa? Pippa?
Yeah.
Do you understand the relationship between foods and your blood and foods and your heart?
Well, probably not.
Probably not. Well, we're going to help you. We're going to help you. Do you guys see how this is? Pippa is 75 years old and she really wants to do this, and we're going to help you, Pippa. But this is the world. Nobody's told Pippa any of this. Her entire life, she's gone without understanding that when you eat a certain food, that food creates a contamination in the blood, which thickens the blood. That thickening in the blood is going to make it difficult for the heart to get oxygen because the blood's not going to circulate effectively. So Pippa's a normal person. She's a regular person. You know, Pippa doesn't know. We got to talk to her. Pippa, bread, pasta, rice, French fries, potatoes, these all thicken the blood. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bready, starchy. I don't know. Can Pippa hear me?
I think she can, but I think there's a little delay.
Okay.
She's in Tasmania. She's at the bottom part of the world.
You're okay. Yeah, it's very difficult to communicate. You're in Tasmania? Are you serious?
Yes, she's in Tasmania, at the very bottom of Tasmania, not even up the top part of Tasmania. We
Oh my goodness. Oh my
All
goodness.
right.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Oh
a
my
beautiful
goodness.
place.
Listen, Pippa, I can't really do this on like this. We have to have a conversation.
No.
But I want everybody to understand that when you're 75 years old and you've been spending 75 years doing what everybody does, that means you got to change everything. Otherwise, you go to the doctor. The doctor doesn't know. He just gives you drugs.
Exactly.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's just giving you drugs. And the drugs they give you for your heart are the most toxic, horrible drugs.
I
Pippa,
know.
You got to feel terrible.
Yeah,
You got to feel
know.
worse. She's going to feel worse after she went to the doctor than before because they're poisoning her.
Yes.
They're poisoning this poor woman.
I know
Pippa,
that.
you can be helped. You can be helped. I'm guaranteeing you can be helped. And everybody who's listening, the sicker you are, the more health problems you have, the faster you can turn it around. So Pippa, get yourself on the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Drink more water.
Get myself
practice.
It's all right, Michelle. Michelle will run past it with you. She will.
Yep. I'm listening.
Good.
Right.
Practice breathing exercises. Michelle, if Michelle's listening,
Yes.
Pippa, we're going to have Michelle work with you.
Yeah.
Number one, Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Number two, sweeties. Number 3, make sure that she's connecting foods to specific symptoms. The chances are pretty good Pippa's clogged up from eating the wrong foods, or there's food reactions. She does appear to have a little bit of rosacea, although I can't say 100% because it's hard to see exactly. So there's probably some food issues as well. It's impossible for her not to be dysglycemic. I didn't say diabetes. I said dysglycemic. Remember the distinction. Diabetes is a disease, and it's a disease where the doctor blesses you. You now have diabetes. Boom.
Yes.
You have diabetes, like they knight you. You have diabetes,
Yes.
and you say, "Oh, I got diabetes." No.
They love it.
Dysglycemia is a biochemical phenomena. Messed up blood sugar. Diabetes is a blessing from the doctor. That's different, or a curse from the doctor. That's different. Do you understand what I'm saying? That we're talking biochemistry here. We're not talking about diagnosis. Do you guys get this?
Yep.
I got to know if you understand. All right. So your sugar has got to be messed up because look, you're 75. You're living a normal life. You can't not have sugar that's not messed up. Everybody's sugar's messed up. Once the sugar becomes disturbed, the blood becomes thick and the blood vessels become damaged. Basically, the blood inflames, and this makes it difficult for the oxygen and nutrients to get to the heart, and that's what fibrillation is. That's the cause of the fibrillation. So we got to make sure the blood is oxygenated and nutriated and circulating. And that's where the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack comes in. That's where treating yourself as if you were a diabetic using the Sweeties and the Ultimate Niacin and the Ultimate Selenium, all of which help. And also, by the way, the Fucoid Z can help with the blood. And then also the digestive component, because it appears like there's some digestive issues. And obviously Pippa doesn't know, because everybody thinks whole grains are good, or cereal is good, or oatmeal is good. Everybody thinks that. So the good news is you could feel better quickly. The bad news is you better get going.
And before you came on, Ben, we were having a little discussion, and we were talking about the liver detox, and Pippa seemed quite interested in that
Liver detox is definitely a good idea, but right now we got bigger fish to fry. The liver detox is probably a good idea, but right now Pippa is severely malnourished.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Severely malnourished, and also suffocating. There's also a lack of oxygen. I can tell just by looking. So that's the biggest thing. The liver cleanse is definitely on the menu. That's something we want to get to. But for now, Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, Sweeties, Ultimate Niacin, Ultimate Selenium, Fucoid Z, and track the foods. You're going to probably want the I-26 and some food stuff, but I wanted to track the foods first. If you could do slow, deep breathing. Slow, meaning 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, 4 to 6 seconds out, 4 seconds in. Slow. The slowness is very important. It calms everything down. Deep in the belly, like you want your lower belly to expand. Pippa, my dear, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. And we have this delay. It's a little bit hard. I want you to do something with me, okay? And I'm going to show you what to do, and then you do it. And we can all do it. Everybody else can do it too. Watch this. Watch me. You're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. And then you're going to breathe out for 6 seconds. And when you breathe in, I want your belly expanding. Look at your lower belly, underneath your belly button. Pippa, can you see underneath your belly button? See how your belly, when you breathe in, I want your belly to go out, like it's going out like a balloon. And then when you exhale, the balloon goes in, your belly goes in. Okay, 6 seconds out, 4 seconds in. And you want to try to get a rhythm going. Do you like music? Are you a musician? Do you ever play music, Pippa?
Yes, I'm a good
I
musician.
can tell by looking at you. You look like a musician to me. So
I'm very good at rock and roll music.
Okay, good. Well, we don't want to do rock and roll here, but we want a rhythm. The reason I said we want a rhythm. Yeah, you look like a punk rocker. I could see. I think I might have seen you. I could tell.
Yeah.
You like you like the Clash probably. The Clash and the Ramones.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just kidding you. How about AC/DC? They play in
I
Tasmania.
love AC/DC. And I play the piano to them.
That's great.
That's great. And sing.
No,
Yeah.
slow, deep breathing. The reason I asked you about the musician, you did kind of remind me of a musician, is the rhythm is very important. The rhythm of the breath has to be in a rhythm. So out for 6 seconds, in for 4 seconds, out for 6 seconds, in for 4 seconds, and you want your belly going out, and when you inhale and your belly coming in when you exhale. So do it one time with me, okay? In for 4 seconds, out for 6 seconds. Do it again. In for 4 seconds. Out for 6 seconds. It helps if you watch the breath coming in through your nose and out through your nose. You can feel yourself relax as you're doing that. And that relaxation is going to
Bring you
open
to
up.
sleep.
Don't fall asleep, Pippa. The relaxation is going to open up those blood vessels. So number one,
Yes.
liquid will liquefy the blood so it'll move faster. Oxygen will open up the blood vessels and also support the movement of blood. We want to support the movement of blood. You're stagnated. Everything's contracted and you're stagnated. So we want to expand. And the expansion can be accomplished, number one, with water. It can be accomplished, number two, with oxygen. It can be accomplished with certain key nutrients, which we're going to put you on. And also even just going like this, being expansive this way, will expand everything. You understand? As we age, we contract and everything slows down. And this impedes the blood flow to the heart. And this is why people are on the beta blockers and the calcium channel blockers. We want to move everything. It wouldn't hurt you to get on it, to do a little fast walking, brisk walking, if you can do that. You want to move that blood, circulate the blood, and that will help you get off of the drugs too. You'll notice that you don't need as much drugs as you start to incorporate the nutritional supplements, the oxygen, the water, the movement. The expansion is going to allow more blood to flow through the heart, which means more oxygen and more nutrition, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, and last thing I'll tell you is food is not your friend. The less you eat, the better off you're going to be, as long as you don't starve. Obviously, you don't want to starve, but the less calories you put into your system, the better off you're going to be. All right, and then I'm happy to help you personally.
Ben, I'm a chef.
That?
She's a chef.
I'm a chef.
I don't know what that means. I'm a chef?
She's a chef.
I'm a chef.
As in a professional cook?
Yes.
Oh, you're a chef. A chef.
I'm a chef.
Oh, okay. You're a chef. All right. I know. Where did you guys learn English? How did you? I
don't know.
British English.
No, I'm teasing you. You're a chef. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. You can still eat. You can still, but you want quality foods, greens, green leafy vegetables, eggs, organ meats, chicken soup, bone soup. What you want to stay away from is the breads and the cereals and the pasta and the rice and the potatoes. Those are the kind of foods that cause the problems. But green leafy vegetables all day long, veggies, salads with oil all day long, with good quality oil, like a flaxseed oil, something from the refrigerator. You want to make sure that you're getting the good stuff, but you don't need a lot of calories. Calories are not your friend.
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you, Pippa. I hope I helped you, and I'm happy to work with you personally. You look like a very sweet woman, Pippa. Thank you.
You've got a human, that's for sure. Thank you, Pippa. That was excellent. So does anyone...
Thank you. That's very informative.
You're
lovely.
You're very welcome. So does anyone else have any questions for Ben today? Grant. Now, where have you gone, Grant?
Yes.
I know you have, but you popped off.
I've got one.
Oh,
Grant,
Grant.
Grant,
let them go first, Bronie. Let them go first.
Yeah, just real quick. I have a friend of mine that's using that morphine patch. I think it's called Norsporin or something. But they've been on it for years, and they're starting to look really underweight, like severely underweight. So I was just wondering if you could elaborate on
morphine. Why are they on morphine patches? What do they have?
Shingles.
They're on morphine patches for shingles?
Shingles pain, yeah, pain in the body, pain in the nerve pain.
How long have they been on? How long have they had shingles?
Years.
That should not happen. Shingles is a sign the immune system is compromised. The pain is miserable. The pain is awful.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst things that a person can experience in terms of pain. So I could see why they're on morphine, but morphine shuts down the digestive tract and the respiratory tract.
Okay.
So it makes sense. If they're on morphine chronically, she's got to be clogged up, totally clogged up. So shingles is an shingles only happens to people who are immune compromised. Your immune system should be able to handle the shingles virus, but as we get older, or if the body's weakened, it will get infected. And shingles occurs in people who are on medication, people who are older, people who have other health challenges, people who are in the hospital. Shingles happens to weak bodies, so we got to get her strong. That's what you got to do. Now, you can't get her off the morphine right away because shingles pain is miserable, but you can strengthen the immune system. So you strengthen the immune system from 2 directions. Number 1, you stop putting stuff in that suppresses the immune system. And number 2, you put things in that strengthen the immune system. So you approach it from 2 directions, right? Sugar is the most important immune suppressant there is that we all use. So anything she can do to avoid bread, the same thing like I was talking Pippa. Bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, of course, soda pop and desserts and cakes, etc. That goes without saying. But sometimes people don't realize that bread and cereal and burritos and pizza and all these things that have dough and starchy foods, they break down to sugar too, and they will suppress the immune system. Bread will suppress your immune system.
Wow.
And shingles is an immune problem. And usually shingles comes and goes. You have it and then it goes away. For her to have it chronically tells me her immune system is severely compromised. Now, is this a friend of yours, by the way?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to tell you something. How old is she, by the way? 50s. Okay, good. 50s. All right. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to go into my psychic trance. I'm going to go into my psychic trance. What's your friend's name?
Lisa.
Lisa. I'm getting Lisa. Lisa has other health challenges too. She doesn't just have shingles. She's got a whole mess of health challenges. They start at the level of the intestine. So Lisa has to fix her digestion. She's got digestive problems. Toxins are getting into the bloodstream. This is putting a burden on the immune system. But she thinks she has shingles and her doctor's treating the shingles. It's like I'm talking about Pippa. The cause of the shingles, the cause of the infection, that's not being addressed. They're just shutting down the pain. So she still has the shingles. It's not going away because they're not fixing the cause. So first of all, to do this really correctly, I got to talk to her and I got to ask her where all her other health challenges are because she's got to have other ones. So when you ask, how do we get off morphine with shingles? You can't. Shingles is miserable. But what you can do is strengthen the immune system. Avoiding sugar, whatever you can do to avoid sugar. I don't know her, but I'm guessing she's dysglycemic as well. So I would use the sweeties and the ultimate selenium, the ultimate niacin. The Fucoid Z can help. Listen, you guys, you got to work on the entire system. You can't hone in on the shingles or on the fibrillation or on the arthritis. You got to treat the entire system. The doctor sees the shingles. He's going to treat the shingles. The doctor sees the atrial fibrillation. He's going to do what he can do for the atrial fibrillation. It's the system. You guys get what I'm saying here? This requires a completely different way of looking at health. We got to look at the body as a whole, the entire system.
Do you recommend any specific supplements like lysine?
Yes, the Healthy Start Pack. That's the bottom line for everything.
They're on that.
Healthy Start Pack, fine. I'm guessing, and I have to ask her, but the chances are pretty good. She's got food issues as well. So she has to work on the food issues, and I would go with the I-26 and the Nightly Essence, but I'd want to get some more information from her. As far as
could I maybe have her email you? Would that be okay?
Of course, absolutely. Bronie, who are you working with, Michelle or Bronie?
She's in Karen's room.
Karen's room, yeah.
Yeah, have them call me, and actually we should work with, I don't know if Michelle's on the call here. Is Michelle Graham on the call?
Yes, she is, but this is actually...
Michelle's helping me schedule things. Michelle's helping me schedule things. So anybody wants my help, because it's really a lot of these things require some in-depth help. And I want you to understand this. I want your friend Lisa to understand what's happening. I want Pippa to understand. So you don't go to the doctor and say, help, what do I do? And he puts you on 5 different poisons, or he puts you on a pain patch and he doesn't address the problem. I want you guys to have some basic understanding so you can know why your body is acting the way your body's acting. So it helps if I can talk to your friend Lisa, have Michelle, work with Michelle, and she'll connect this up.
Karen,
Michelle's doing
he's in Karen's room.
whoever it is.
You know
I'll
how-
talk to Karen.
I'll get it off there. Yeah. Thanks,
Okay.
Ben.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, so does anyone else in your room have a question there, Karen?
Can I ask one?
Oh,
Yeah.
you just
Yes.
Hi, Ben. My name's Adrian. I want to ask about fluoride in water.
Okay, what do you want to know? It's probably not a great idea for a lot of reasons. Fluoride is a brain chemical, and it has a dumbing effect. It has a dulling effect, so it's not great for your brain. Fluorosis can actually cause the bones and the teeth to become weakened and even cause browning of the teeth. And fluoride is a very powerful oxidizing agent, so it accelerates the aging process, and it makes toxins in the body more toxic. So it's probably not a great idea. What are you going to do? It's in the water. I don't drink tap water. That's personally what I do. I drink distilled water or spring water. I recommend nobody drinks tap water, and you avoid the fluoridation. It's not a great idea. There's worse things, but it's not a great idea. Chlorine is the same thing. Chlorine, which kills things, is also an oxidizing agent, a bleaching agent, if you will. What are you going to do? You got to do what you got to do. One of the best ways to protect yourself from fluoride is right here. Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Vitamin C is one of the most fluoride protective supplements you could ever take. In fact, if you have one of the really cool things you could do with your shower is put a shower filter in and put vitamin C in your shower filter, because fluoride comes in through your skin too. When you take a shower, your pores are open. The fluoride from the shower, especially if you take a hot shower, is going to get in your system through the water that's on your skin. So using vitamin C and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is one of the best fluoride protection supplements or nutrients you could ever take. Same with the Ultimate Selenium, by the way, and the MSM, the Ultimate MSM. All of those will chelate, as protect you from the damage from fluoride.
The next thing is, if you boil water, does that get rid of the fluoride?
No. Boiling water will concentrate the fluoride. It'll make it worse. Because as you're boiling the water, the steam comes off, the water is lower, the fluoride concentration becomes denser. You're actually concentrating it by boiling it.
Yeah. The next thing is, what foods? I've heard that tea has fluoride in it.
Tea has natural fluoride in it, but it also has things that chelate, that tie up the fluoride and keep you from getting too much in your system. But yes, tea does have natural fluoride in it. That is true. Fluoride is found throughout nature. Fluoride is found in fruits and vegetables. The problem with fluoride is the form of fluoride that's used in water is different from the form of fluoride that's in plants. Plants, and this is very important for longevity folks to understand, plant minerals like fluoride are not the same as chemical minerals like sodium fluoride that's in water. Plant minerals are protected. So if you look at the minerals in Beyond Tangy Tangerine, you'll see arsenic and nickel and fluoride and these things that you think are aluminum, things that sound like they'd be toxic, but because they're encased in plant proteins, they're colloidal, they're a different form than the kind that's in the case of fluoride than the kind that's in water. So plant minerals are a safe version of chemical minerals that are found in things like they're found in water and certain supplements.
Yeah, the thing is, I was born in Ireland, and I live in Australia now, but a few years ago, the Irish government legislated to bring in fluoride into water in Ireland. And since then, they've noticed the percentages of illnesses have crept up in Ireland due to this. Like women
fluoride is not a nice chemical. Chemical fluoride
is regulated in our water for years.
I don't know. I don't know. I won't attribute. I can't say there's a causal relationship. I don't know, but it's not good for you. Fluoride's not good for you. Now, depending on how much you drink, Fluoride is actually a drug. If you go to the pharmacy, you'll see fluoride in the pharmacy. It's used for babies' teeth. They'll actually give people fluoride as a drug, and they tell you, don't take more than 2 milligrams because it's toxic. So if you take more than 2 milligrams a day, you can go into toxicity. Well, how do they know how much water you're drinking? If fluoride's a drug and you're not supposed to take more than 2.2 milligrams a day, how do they know how much water anybody's drinking? Obviously, it's a problem. You're drinking the same stuff that they're giving that requires a prescription in the pharmacy. Well, these things are hidden in plain sight, people. I personally, I avoid tap water.
Same.
Yes.
Question in a different area. There's a Dr. Davis, as you see him on YouTube. He's a cardiac surgeon, and he talks about the effect antibiotics have on your digestive system.
It's awful. It's terrible. What does an antibiotic do? It kills bacteria. Your intestine is packed with bacteria that make vitamins, that communicate to the intestine to make sure the food is flowing through appropriately, that process toxins, that process hormones, that contribute genetic information, that make your brain calm down. These are bacteria in your intestine. Antibiotics kill those. There's no antibiotics don't know the difference between the bacteria in your intestine and the bad bacteria. And by the way, 95 or 96% of bacteria are good bacteria. About 4% cause disease. Most bacteria are our friends. So antibiotics are a huge problem, but they're also life-saving. So the best strategy is minimize your use of antibiotics. When you're on an antibiotic, as soon as you're done taking your antibiotic, make sure you take probiotics and make sure you're honoring your intestine by eating the right food, using digestive enzyme supplements, making sure you're not overloading your intestine, using nutrients that help that propel food through the digestive tract. There's all kinds of strategies that we can use to improve intestinal health. So there's a concept called locus of control. Locus of control refers to where you have control. You don't have control over fluoride in the water. That's in there. You don't have control over the kind of preservatives that are in foods. That's in there. But you do have control over your intestine. So eat less food, take probiotics, make sure that you're focusing on intestinal health. That's in our locus of control. There's certain things we don't have control over. There's a lot we do have control over. Focus on what you do have control. We don't have control over fluoride in the water or chlorine in the water or the stuff that's spewed in the air for that matter, or chemtrails, whatever the heck they're putting in the chemtrails. We don't have control over that. But we do have control over the McDonald's hamburgers we're eating or not eating. We do have control over the Pop-Tarts we have for breakfast. We do have control over the nutritional supplements we use in the morning. So what you don't have control over, you can't do anything about, but there's tons we can control. You know, in AA or 12 steps, they say, Lord, grant me the wisdom, or what do they say? Grant me the wisdom to know the things I can control and the things I can't control and the difference between the two, something along those lines. We need to know what we can control and control that, and the stuff we can't control, we can't control. Can't control fluoride in the water, but you can start using Beyond Tangy Tangerine to chelate that fluoride so it doesn't get deposited in your tissues.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, my friend. Good to
Are
see
you all good in
All
your
right,
room,
that-
Karen?
So, sorry, I got one more. Thank you, Ben, but I got one more here. Come here.
One more?
Yes,
Yeah.
I just want to ask one
Over here.
question.
There you go.
Can you cope with filtered water?
I'm
I
hearing.
didn't quite catch that.
Now,
that
if
again?
you want filtered water, can you boil it and cope with it?
Filtered water.
Filtered water.
You
Can
boil
you
it?
boil it and cook with it?
Is it okay to cook with?
Filtered water?
Is it
Yeah.
all right to cook with filtered water?
Filter, it depends on the filters. First of all, not all filters are the same, so you got to find the right filters. Also, filtered water has to be, the filters break down over time. So you got to make sure your filter is fresh and not breaking down. But yeah, filtered water is good depending on the filter, of course. You know, some filters are better than others. And then
No.
boiling water is not a bad idea. It's kind of time consuming, but like I was saying to William earlier, you're going to concentrate toxicity in the water through the boiling process. So if there's fluoride that you're worried about, it's going to be more concentrated as you boil the water.
But normally when you want to cook something, you take tap water, boil it, and cook whatever you veggies or pasta or whatever. I just ask if it's good to cook with filtered water.
Fine to cook with filtered water. That's
Yeah.
not a problem. Yeah, that's
Thank you.
fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
All
much.
right.
All right. Well, Grant, I think, has a quick question.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
And he's now frozen. Unmute yourself, Grant. I think Grant's frozen. That happens to him a bit. You have to unmute, Grant.
G'day, Pharmacist Ben.
G'day.
I really enjoy your talks, and I will point out that I did a fast not long ago, and I took your advice on the tangy tangerine and the litre of water, and I also mixed in some plant-derived minerals. And I'm a hungry boy, and I got through it no troubles at all. It was easy. It was well done.
Good job. Good job. Thanks for sharing that.
In fact, I wanted to go further, but I thought I better stop. Well, I got one. My wife has weak hands and she's wearing little glove things at night. Is that a circulation issue and muscles in here?
Are they numb? Are they numb?
She says the muscles in here, in this part, the web part of her hand, aren't working too. Yeah, weak and
yeah, they're weak. That could have to do with nerves.
Yeah,
there could be some kind of blockage in the nerves, or there could be some inflammation, or it could have to do with circulation. I'd have to ask her some more questions to really help. But I would try the couple things I would try right off the top. She's already using Beyond Tangy Tangerine.
No,
right?
she doesn't believe anything I do, Pharmacist Ben.
Well, I can't really help her if she won't. But
I know.
Beyond Tangy Tangerine will help her. Oxygen will help her. If she's dealing with the sugar problem, she needs to address that as well. I mean, I can only help people who want to be helped, and not everybody wants to be helped, so that's okay. God loves everybody. Sun shines on us all. Right,
Just
Bronie?
as well he does. Just as well he does.
All right.
Okay, so if we have no further questions, poor old Grant keeps freezing. So,
Yeah, I might froze up. Sorry.
yeah, if we have no questions.
What?
What was that? What was that, Ben?
I said I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Okay, well, I was going to actually ask you a question, Ben.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Because we're a week later than we would have had you last week, and then we would have had you next week. Is it possible for you to do next week as well, so we're back in sync? Particularly for poor Kevin there, who has to keep.
Yes, we can do next week. We can do next week, December the 3rd. What is next week?
Yes, well, it'll be the 3rd for me, so it'll be the 2nd for you.
I'll do it next week.
Okay, then we're back in sync.
Okay.
Is that good with everyone? Awesome. And it'll be good with.
Thank you so much. I want to stay in touch with Pippa too. Can you help me out?
Yes,
say hi
I will
double for me, Pippa.
I will help Michelle to get her in touch with you. I think Michelle has your number now. Through WhatsApp.
You know what? If you could get Pippa Beyond Tangy Tangerine right away, she'll notice a big difference.
Yeah.
She'll notice a big difference in BTT right away. God bless everybody. I have to motivate. I'll talk to y'all soon. See you next week. Bye.
Thank you very much. And as I ask you all nicely here in Bronie's World, to stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear, my friends. And when you are getting the nutrients your body needs, then you too will be powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely very brave. God bless you all. Catch you again tomorrow here in Bronie's World. And in our case with Ben, we'll catch him again next week. Bye for now.